So very warm welcome everyone to week 6 prayers and meditations batch 7. And today we have this single prayer, February 12, 1914 by the Mother. And yeah, so as always, anyone who feels ready to read and then share anything that has resonated with you, here is the prayer in front of you. So whoever wants to unmute and share. And maybe we can read first and then share our reflections. Yeah, Ashpriya?
If I can read,
Yeah, please.
When conscious with thy supreme consciousness, one considers all earthly circumstances, one sees their complete relativity and says, to do this thing or that, after all, that is not of much importance. Yet a particular mode of action will be the best utilization of a certain faculty, a certain temperament. All actions, whatever they may be, even the most contradictory in appearance, can be an expression of thy law to the extent that they are infused with the consciousness of that law, which is not a law of practical application that can be translated into principles or rules in the ordinary human consciousness, but a law of attitude, of a constant and prevailing consciousness, something that cannot be expressed in formulas but may be lived. But as soon as one falls back into the ordinary consciousness, nothing should be treated lightly and with indifference. The least circumstances, the small acts, have a great importance and should be seriously considered. For we must try at every moment to do that which will make the identification of our consciousness with the eternal consciousness easy, and avoid carefully all that could be an obstacle to this identification. It is then that the rules of conduct, having as their foundation perfect personal disinterestedness, should find their full value. With peace in my heart, with light in my mind, the hope born of certitude in all my being, I greet thee, O Lord, divine master of eternal love. Thou art the reason of our existence and our goal.
Yeah, anything would you like to share?
Right now, nothing as such is
Okay.
coming to my mind except the fact that uh, you know I I think every moment to actually remember is itself a very difficult task, and then to uh, put that effort in every moment with everything that is going on in our lives otherwise is actually quite difficult. But at times, there are times when we have that thing that, okay, I mean, no matter what is happening, we are very focused, but at times it just goes away. Yeah, I think that's all that is coming to my mind.
Yeah. I think most of us, almost virtually all of us, can relate with what you shared. The mind is discursive, and we are, as Mother shares, our consciousness is usually so scattered in so many directions that to maintain this identity is absolutely seems like impossible, if not uh, extremely impossible, mostly impossible. But yet, I think that's our journey. People have done that, masters have shown the way, and we know that it is possible. We know that union, a growing union with the divine, with our true consciousness, knowing ourselves as this consciousness, rather than getting lost again and again in the drama, in the story, taking it too seriously. That is a possibility each one of us has whenever we feel ready. So that's the free will, that we have to be ready. And it's okay to get lost. I think all of us get lost, but the thing is to just keep on coming back home again and again, no matter how many times we may get lost. Because as you rightly said, that the drama, the story that is going on in our life, it appears so overwhelming and real. The solidity of it, mind makes it appear so real, that we forget the reality of our true consciousness. We that because that is in the background, the blue sky is in the background. uh, Knowing ourselves as consciousness goes in the background. It does not say anything, it is not aggressive. So then it becomes very hard and challenging, as you said, because the thoughts and the feelings and the emotions, they have so much of energy. They come onto us with so much of energy. They make everything appear so solid and real. So in that kind of a situation, to keep on reminding ourselves, that's the only way we have. And that is the pressure, I would say, masters and mystics have put. The pressure through satsangat, or a good company, that no matter if we are born in forgetfulness, we all are forgetful, born in amnesia of our true self. But the only thing is, let us keep on reminding, let us keep on reminding, because just like this example of, a big rock, a piece of rock, if slowly water drops are falling on that piece of rock, after years of that water falling on the piece of rock, something changes. The rock changes, it changes the shape. Even with a drop, very subtle drop of water, which is so soft and not at all hard like like the rock, and yet it makes a difference because it continues to fall over the years on that rock. So I think that is the power of immersing ourselves in words full of light and illumination, which remind us our true essence. That's the power of good company. So I think, yeah, otherwise things do become overwhelming, and thoughts and feelings and stories in the head just take a toll on us. They make themselves appear so real, while we totally forget and miss our true consciousness, getting lost in that forest. So yes, one just has to keep at it. I think that's the only way out. Yeah. And very kindly also, with a lot of compassion, that it's okay, I forgot, that it's okay. Then one also develops a empathy to others who have forgotten. One is not judging them, because I also forget. So it's okay, you forgot, but let us come back again. Yeah.
I think the challenge is also not about, I think it's just my experience. I mean, as of now, it is my experience. When I talk, I will know if it is similar to anyone else. Is that, like, for example, there are things which I am unable to relate to now, but yet I am doing because right now I have to do it. For example, now if I'm unable to relate to it, and I know that the other person who is also in that particular say work or relationship or whatever is expecting something out of me, but I am not being able to do real justice to that expectation, and I'm aware of it. uh, and it is more so for work, I'm saying, not so much about relationship perhaps. But yeah, but relationship as well, like friendship and all that. Like, there are certain expectations, being there, quote unquote, being there has been, thanks to the narratives that which exist, being there for someone means a lot of things, and which becomes little difficult at times, or I am unable to relate to that being there, and for which I also feel bad that I am not being able to relate to that particular thing. But what can I do? I really don't relate so much anymore. I feel bad for that person, for me, but yet I cannot do much about it. For example, perhaps we have been friends for decades now, but yet I'm not being able to really, be that person, anymore. So that becomes, that is a struggle which I am in actually. More than the emotional aspect is, it's more that, and I feel at times it is really depressive also. I mean, I'm not sad, I'm not in pain, but I don't know what is to be done.
Yeah, yeah. I think, as you said, there are so many narratives about what is meant by being there. For example, Sri Aurobindo would say that a mystic meditating in the Himalayas while the French Revolution is going on is actually contributing in ways which are not even fathomable to the ordinary consciousness, to the French Revolution. So I think, as you said, what do we mean by being there? Usually we relate it with we must be glued to the other person, we should always show up. But many a times it can be just that you are not there. You're not there, but you are on your path. You are in alignment with your truth. Although you do not show up for the person, but you are living a life which is in alignment with your truth, the process that you have to go on in this life. And that is also, I believe, being there. Because love doesn't always mean, or showing up doesn't always mean that you have to show up physically. Because many a times, either it's work or emotionally relationships, I feel that many a times not showing up is what is required. Not fulfilling the expectations is what is required.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, in a very macro way, it is true. But then in micro ways, there are things which I know that it is hurting. But I have to be authentic, and I cannot be inauthentic and do it.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
that is. I have a lot of. I feel sad about that also at times.
Yeah.
But what can be done?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely. I think situations can be really pretty demanding at times. And
Yeah.
also, I think in those situations, especially to remember that we also have to be kind to our own self, and not always trying to fulfill the expectations that situations or people may have from us, because that is a torture, that we do on ourselves. And if in case what I personally do nowadays is, which really helps me a lot in challenging situations, is when I'm not able to help, a situation may be demanding or expectations may be too much, that if following my authenticity I'm not able to do what the expectation demands, the only thing we can do, and the best probably, is that to know that people are suffering, people may be hurt, to validate that yes, the suffering is there, the hurt is there, and to also send out a prayer that that may all be genuinely happy, and they may all, including me, we may all be connected to our true essence. It appears very, very simple,
But it
very,
is
very
very difficult.
simple.
Yeah, but it is very difficult. I mean, I have tried. Uh, this probably is little bit easy, but probably the expectation is a lot, and then there has been a negative discussion regarding not being able to meet that expectation. Then it's so difficult to
It
really.
is difficult, yeah. And I also felt that it is difficult for me to do this when I have an expectation from that
Yeah,
situation.
yeah, yeah.
So if I let go of my expectation also
Hmm.
from that situation or person, then it becomes easy for me to do this. So clinging, attachment to a particular situation, or this is how this situation should be, if that is on my mind, then in those cases I am not able to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think then it's almost kind of an inner work for me in that situation, to recognize now what am I clinging to in this situation. and to let go of that. Because as Buddha said, attachment is suffering. And whenever I'm clinging to either my idea of truth or somebody, some idea about some situation, whenever I am attached to some idea or opinion, I will suffer. And then this tonglen, or noticing others suffering, my suffering, and inhaling that suffering and exhaling wellness out, then it becomes impossible. Yeah. So I feel that no matter, because many a times it happens that resistance is there for this process. And even when with the resistance, I allow myself to do this, the resistance also withers away. But again, we all have our own processes and tools. I'm just sharing what helps.
No. Yeah,
me.
yeah. I mean, there are times when I'm able to do it, and there are times when I'm not able to do it. I mean,
yeah, I have felt that I'm not able to do it when I have a particular attachment to a
yes.
this is how it should be, and
Yes.
then I'm not able to do that. Yeah. It's beautiful, all these life happenings and situations, they are so beautiful mirrors of our own self. They just show us again and again how entangled we are from within, and how attached and clingy we are from within.
Yeah, that's also because we don't want to let go also. I mean, this letting go is such a difficult, because we want to get all those. I mean, the fact that we will be dramaless, our life will be dramaless, is also not. We sometimes we are, we feel that okay, fine, I mean, my life is dramaless and all of, and it is a nice feeling, and there is no doubt about it. I mean, that that feeling alive without anything, or I don't know whether it at all it is without anything. That is also my mind which is telling me it is without anything. But there are times when I actually have felt that, oh, I mean, okay, all of these things are good, but some bit of drama,
must be there. Some juice and rust must be there. What you have just shared reminds me of something which I often share, that we are all addicted to the juice of our stories. We are all addicts. Now, whenever we are rehabilitating ourselves from an addiction, I may be addicted to a cigarette or alcohol. For example, we are addicted to our stories. And whenever we have to transition from being addicted to being a non-addict, we actually go through a discomforting phase where the addiction has not completely left us. And there is where we feel the dryness without the addiction. And the beautiful new unfolding of life has not yet arrived in the life. So there is this middle phase where we feel a bit troubled. So I used to have a rasa or a juice in my alcohol. Now I am in the rehabilitation program. I have to leave alcohol. Now, as I am leaving alcohol, I feel something is missing in my life. But that something, the bigger something, which will fulfill that void, that so far has not yet arrived. So one keeps on going back again and again for the alcohol because the taste is not there, the juice is not there in the life. But I think this is just a phase. I personally feel that this discomforting phase where the old patterns have not yet gone, the new unfolding of life has not yet arrived so that you are attracted towards it. This is a very discomforting phase, and it may actually go on for, I don't know, maybe years. Who knows, each one's his own journey. But this is definitely a discomforting phase. But slowly, as the new unfolding of the life begins, the more juice we get from the new unfolding, the void in the life becomes filled with the new unfolding. I think slowly we lose a taste for the old alcohol or the old patterns that I was having. So from time to time, we keep on making a U-turn to the old pattern. As you said, that we miss the drama, so we add on a bit of drama here and there. Absolutely okay. That happens with all of us. But then slowly, as we go forward on the path towards truth, I think then slowly one doesn't even feel the need to go back to the drama, because there is so much beauty already. So who wants the beauty from the drama now? But I think this is all, our journey, and just happens like that. It's not easy to be authentic, takes a lot of turmoil.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Even to know what is authenticity, actually, to become authentic is actually
The latter part.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Shweta, yes.
Yeah, it's such a process, na. Actually, वो रसा तो है, but I feel, like it's also a few trauma bonds that you have that you're not even aware of. So, like you said, the new thing unfolds and you are getting into the new path. But I feel it works so parallelly. Ki you are able to be your authentic self in many situations, and yet, वो जैसे Monica, you say na, the sticky points, or I think those are your trauma bonds where you're still not, you're so conditioned to not be authentic that you have to constantly remind yourself, ki, oh, you again, got stuck in that. You got again stuck in that. At the same time, I think you are being authentic in other situations which are new to you. So I think it happens. It's such a package, it goes together. So
Yeah, beautiful. Yes, absolutely. And these sticky spots or the attached spots that we have, which require too much effort, inner effort, I think they are the ones which make us more and more stronger, and I believe again and again remind us that our work is not yet done. So I think these are the points, these are the relationships or areas in our life which are almost like it's gymming a muscle. So if
but sometimes, sorry.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so like I feel yes, gymming a muscle is true, Monica, but sometimes I feel you don't have the strength and support is needed, like a support like a sangha like this, or like people who remind you, and because you literally feel very depleted, and it's so quick, going back to your earlier self and just feeling so depleted, and the work, the kind of work you do on yourself, and then it just takes a moment to again just doubt yourself or get into that feeling of trauma. So I think at such times support groups and the sangha really helps, and family, like personally, like मुझे लगता है in like I have few family may like trauma bonds with very close relatives, but my children have helped me, like how matlab, first of all noticing, then helping me, and every single time I go back to that loop, they point out, and they just like guards standing with me, like just reminding me and helping me, and bar mom, you need to be more authentic, and it really helps me. I have like transitioned so much because of them. So I feel without that support, it would have been very difficult.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's why Buddha would say, to Ananda, that what is the percentage of importance of company or sangat on this path, and Ananda said maybe it's 50%, and Buddha said no, it's 100%. So yeah, the company and the words that we immerse ourselves in, the reminders that we keep on giving us through people or friends or situations, absolutely, very, very crucial. Yeah, it's almost just like we all of us are enlightened, all of us have a Buddha nature, but we forget, just like Hanuman when he was going to Sri Lanka, to go to Mata Sita, he had to be reminded that, hey, you have wings, why don't you fly? Just like that, I think we constantly, as Shweta just shared the example of her children, we constantly need these reminders that, oh my God, lost in the drama again, oh my God, lost in the drama again. So these are, and specifically the soft spots or the most challenging people in our life, they are the areas where we get lost in the role too badly, so as to be able to remind ourselves of who we truly are, so as to be able to be a little detached from the whole situation. And there are many areas in our life where we are detached. It's not that we have lost ourselves in that drama, but there are also parallelly, as Shweta was sharing, that parallelly there are areas where we lose whatever, as if nothing, no progress has been made, the way we behave there in those situations. But that again grounds us. That just tells us that more work needs to be done, and it's a long journey. So calm down, Gadadhari beam, yeah, ground yourself and relax. Yeah, it's almost like we can never be unemployed. There is so much to do outwardly and inwardly, that we have really too much of inner work, outer work to do. Good for us. Yeah.
Yeah. Like recently I also received a comment from a very close relative that I can't be detached like you, because I value my relationship, and I care. And so like I was made to feel so bad. And then again I got into that story, okay, I'm not, like I am detached, I should do better. And then at such times it becomes very difficult. And like so when people around like say that, and like it becomes difficult. Yeah. And at such times again to just
Yes.
depend on what and what your inner thing is. And
Yeah.
yeah, so at such times you need support to
Yeah.
find yourself. And
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
I have been reading something on lucid dreaming nowadays. I'll just share something about that and put the screen share again. So lucid dreaming is about knowing in the dream that you are dreaming. So usually whenever we are dreaming, we are not conscious that it is a dream. In that situation, when the dream is going on, we take it for real, as if something real is happening, and then we wake up and we realize, okay, that was a dream. So lucid dreaming is about becoming conscious of the dream while I am dreaming. And there is a purpose, because in Tibetan Buddhism, there is also dream yoga, where this is the parallel purpose, that to be conscious of the dreaming while you are dreaming. And the basic purpose behind this is that during the daytime, we have so many thoughts, so many feelings, sense perceptions going on. And all of that, we take it to be absolute truth, that, okay, whatever I am thinking is absolute, whatever I am feeling that is what it is, and what you are saying is wrong, and what I am saying is right, what I am feeling is right. So we give too much of importance to our thoughts and feelings in the daytime. And that's why, while in the night time, we get lost in the dream rather than being aware of the dream. So they were discussing about the lucid dreaming, that the more detached, the more stepped back we are in the waking consciousness from our thoughts and feelings, seeing that yes, they may be there, but not giving much serious importance to them, not holding them too tightly and very seriously to our thoughts and feelings. So when in the waking state, I am able to maintain this parallel distance from my thoughts, feelings, and sense perceptions, holding them very, very loosely and gently, then slowly it happens that in the dream state also, I am able to stay there as consciousness, as a conscious witness. And then I will be slowly able to know that it's a dream happening. And there are many effects of that, in the sense that when I can actually manipulate the dream. I can go inside the dream consciously, and I can use the dream for understanding my own nature or patterns, or whatever. So this is a very beautiful thing I found, when I was reading about this, that in the daytime, when we are having thoughts, opinions, judgments, likings, preferences, stories in the head, all of that we take so seriously. Somebody said something, it's taken so seriously. And if in the daytime I can remind myself that it's a dream, don't take it so seriously, then I become a little detached. And then I can parallelly maintain this detached awareness in the dream time also, which becomes dream yoga, Tibetan dream yoga. So can we, experiment, I believe, because I love to experiment with things like these, who are helping us to live a better life, actually a simpler and a lighter life. So in the daytime, when anything is happening, when I'm looking at my thought, when I'm looking at my feelings, to just remind myself to hold it very gently, not to give too much importance to what I'm feeling right now, validating that the feeling is there, validating that the thought is there, but it doesn't have much authority. What is most important is my being present as awareness. So to give more importance to that rather than what is going on in the head makes us a little, kind of non-sticky to things, happenings, situations, my opinions, ideas. And that really helps, I believe. So yeah, I thought I'd just share that. Yes, still, you want to share anything?
Is this the yoga nidra you're describing?
No, this is called Tibetan dream yoga, but for contemporary practices, it's called lucid dreaming.
Okay.
Yeah, there is also a very nice book by Alan Wallace. I'll share it with you. Alan Wallace. It's called Dreaming Yourself Awake. Something on. Yeah, it's a beautiful book. I'm reading it nowadays, and it's helping me understand many things a lot. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So yes, let's continue, beautiful discussion, all of us. Yes. So let's continue with further reflections. Anyone who wants to share anything that resonated with them on this prayer, with this prayer?
Monica, the first paragraph is very beautiful.
Yeah.
And I would like to read it.
Please.
Again, like the sentences say, it is something you understand, but you can't express it in words or formula. So it's very beautiful. So I'll just read that. To do this thing or that. After all, that is not much of importance. Yet, a particular mode of action will be the best utilization of a certain faculty, a certain temperament. All actions, whatever they may be, even the most contradictory in appearance, can be an expression of thy law to the extent that they are infused with the consciousness of that law, which is not a law of practical application that can be translated into principles or rules in the ordinary human consciousness, but a law of attitude, of a constant and prevailing consciousness, something that cannot be expressed in formulas but may be lived. So I think the challenge also comes here because when you feel like you said, no, like you clinging to your thought. It's something like maybe you understand, but there are times when you can't make like others understand, and I think you should detach from that thought also of making others understand. So I found this very beautiful. Like you just have to live your life. Law of attitude.
Yeah, beautiful. So this law of attitude, Mother also shares somewhere else where she talks about, she's talking about people asking her what should be the purpose of my life, what is the purpose of my life, or how do I know I'm fulfilling the purpose of my life. So she's commenting on that, and there she's sharing that everyone, each human being, each sentient being has a unique purpose in this existence, a unique role, which only that particular person or living being can fulfill. So for example, here in the discussion today, we have, say 6 people. Now each one of us has a very, very special role to play in this whole universe, and which only we can find out when we are in consciousness of our true essence, in consciousness of who I truly am. What Mother says, that go and find your psychic being. Before that, life does not start. So there she stresses upon it again and again, because if we do not go in the search of our true self, we will not, it will be a life half lived. We'll not be able to express our uniqueness out with the world. That's our role, what we have to play. But then she shares that in the meantime, when I have not yet found my true vocation or true calling, what should be the attitude with which I do the work or live a life? Because for now, I'm not aware of what should I be doing. So Mother says that whatever work, temporary work, tell yourself that whatever temporary work I will be given, I know that this is not my true calling, but do it with an attitude of service, that offer yourself or offer your work to the divine in whatever work you are doing. That should be the attitude, that yes, I know this is not my true calling, but let me do this as beautifully, as best as I can before I find out or stumble upon my true calling. So that's the law of attitude. With what attitude I am doing whatever work I am doing. And I believe it has a great power. This has a great power, this law of attitude. Yeah. And there, no work is little or bigger. We see that many little tasks, maybe a person is dusting, and some people do even dusting with such beauty that you are amazed to have so much of beauty in dusting. So it doesn't matter what kind of a work it is more spiritual, less spiritual, doesn't matter, but the attitude with which we do things. And many a times it happens more with people who are on the spiritual path, that they develop such a big spiritual ego that even that becomes a hypocrisy. So although I am on a spiritual path, being in an ashram and all that, but there is such a big spiritual ego to me that the attitude is so sad that it's even somebody on the street, maybe just cleaning, maybe having a better attitude than me. So we have to be really very conscious of it, I believe. Yeah. Anything more, Shweta?
No. So this paragraph was what I resonated to.
Yeah.
I think, one more thing, like how Mother always says to, go beyond right and wrong, or, moral things. So this paragraph also, again, points to that all actions, whatever they may be, even the most contradictory in appearance, can be an expression of thy law, to the extent that they are infused with the consciousness of that law, which is not a law of practical application. Yeah. So like, I like that a lot.
Yes, beautiful. Yes. This reminds me another remark of the Mother, where she says that if you do anything and you add just a little drop of true consciousness, I think that's it. That's what she shares. I remember this word. She says, just add one drop of true consciousness. So the attitude with which we do work. From where are we doing the work? From the surface consciousness or the heart? The deeper heart, the inner heart. That changes the whole game. And many times we see that many people, for example, maybe cooking or maybe helping with some other course, and they are so beautiful, there's something very sweet about their presence there, because they just add a drop of true consciousness. That's it. So yes, infused with the consciousness of that law. Yeah. Beautiful. And then she shares towards the end that it cannot be expressed in formulas, but has to be lived, but may be lived. Yeah.
Very, very beautiful.
Yeah.
Like you can actually think of people like that, in your life, like very few handful, but that essence you can relate to.
Yes. Yeah. There was this story of a baker lady, a woman who used to bake cookies. She used to bake cookies, and every day she would just bake for years together. She baked the same cookies. So somebody asked her, and she was a very happy individual. So somebody asked her that, don't you get bored? You have been baking the same cookies for so many years. And then she answered very, very happily again that No, it's not boring at all. Every Wednesday we change the design to this one. From this one to this one, we change the design. So, we don't know when we are in the state of true consciousness. Anything at all, very little thing is enough to give us satisfaction. Otherwise, even big desires do not fulfill us at all. So, yes, really beautiful. Yeah, anyone who would like to share anything further, either from this paragraph or from the next one, please.
Monica?
Yes, Chitraji, yes, please.
Yeah, your first paragraph, definitely when you touch that, I mean, when you unite with that divine consciousness or higher consciousness, yes, all actions, whatever they may be, even the most contradictory in appearance, yes, even can be an expression of thy law. Definitely, when you unite with that consciousness, everything will be like that. Automatically, it will be a spontaneous one. But I am very much concerned about this second para, actually. Because, but as soon as one falls back into the ordinary consciousness, nothing should be treated lightly and with indifference, the least circumstances. Yeah, till that, that permanence is the permanently you are established in that higher consciousness. I feel you have to be very vigilant in selecting the maybe circumstances. Of course, sometimes we cannot select, but at least selecting the friends and selecting even some works and going out and mingling with friends, everything we have to be very cautious. I feel that vigilance should be always there, no? Because once you fall back into the ordinary consciousness, nothing should be treated lightly and with indifference. That is the thing struck me a lot. The least circumstances, the smallest acts have a great importance and should be seriously considered. Yes, I felt that actually. For we must try at every moment to do that, which will make the identification of consciousness with the eternal consciousness easy. Yes, but that identification, once it happened, yes, we can apply that in each and every work, in each and every circumstances. When you move with anyone, that consciousness will be always inside. You won't lose it. Then your attitude will be like that. But when you fall back, I mean, those things are coming again and falling back and then rising up. If that period is continuing for a long time, yeah, we have to be very vigilant. I feel like that. And one only knows when that, you have come out from that falsity and truly connected with that higher consciousness. One only knows that, no? Actually, after that time only you can consider all the circumstances, all the persons and all the events, everything in a, I mean, with your higher consciousness, you can consider all those things like that. I felt like that. When in the second para only, I gave much of importance.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe
is
I am
very
in that,
important.
in that position. So I feel like that. Yes.
Yeah, I think all of us are here, Chitraji, and this is very important. And not only for us who are here today, but also this is very important for masters, because they say, Kabir
Yeah.
said that I have to be vigilant as long as I have breath in the body.
Yeah.
Because this fall into the ordinary consciousness can happen at any moment of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because one small example I can tell, if I go to any marriages, that big fat wedding of Indian marriage, no, somewhat I will feel very uneasy. And even after coming home, after attending that function, my mind will be, I don't know, something will happen. I can't concentrate for 2 or 3 days. I'll be in a restless mode. Till today, I couldn't cope up with that. Actually, I am really surrendering that to Divine Mother. I don't know whether I have to avoid those gatherings or I have to find that there also that I mean consciousness. I don't know till today actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, little things are there like that for me actually. Yeah.
absolutely. I'm totally with you. I totally
Yeah.
resonate with what you are sharing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ditto, just yeah, ditto, Chitraji.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even when falling into the ordinary consciousness, we should not despair, because even when falling, we are carried by the divine.
Yes. Yes.
And the very last sentence of this prayer, I feel like it's the sentence, "Thou art the reason of our existence and our goal." I feel like resonating the mantra, Om Namo Bhagavate. I'm not a user of it, but it just comes to me like this right now.
Yeah.
And it gives me the feeling of not reaching out, but being part of it. So we only have to move carefully.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful what you and Chitra ji what just shared, and Till also the comment from Till, because in Savitri also Mother Sri Aurobindo shares that each fall that is happening, it is happening for a reason. Something in me is still ready to fall. So it's not actually the outer circumstance, although there is also an importance of avoiding those circumstances, because just as we take care of a little sapling, a little plant, soft plant, it has just sprouted. Now I cannot plant that sprout in a vast open field where many people are walking, because it will get crushed. So we, as we are growing on this path, only we know, only we are aware of what has to be rejected, what situations, along with thoughts and feelings, what situations have to be rejected in order so that I can maintain the stability of that union and consciousness. Because it is very, very important to fence that little sapling. So I believe that there are times in our lives where we need to avoid certain interactions. Only we would know what interactions or what situations we need to avoid. We would get a kind of a knowing within that, no, this disturbs me and I don't want to be there. It doesn't give me anything. It just takes away, drains energy. So I think those situations, slowly one finds the courage to reject them in the beginning, and slowly as we progress in our strength, as the little sapling is growing, it is becoming a little stronger and harder. Now it can stand even in a vast open field and would not get trampled over. So now this can happen that, okay, I can go anywhere. Wherever I will go, I will spread only a fragrance, and I would not get, my fragrance will not get diluted by the overwhelming exposure that is happening. But that happens very late, that requires a lot of practice and effort. So Mother also would share that stay away from those people who you think drain your energy, suck your energy, and situations that would suck your energy, and focus on the path. That's what she would suggest to many, many people, in her letters and correspondences. So I believe that also has a place. But having said that, I also know that, have a feeling that as we grow stronger, so that we don't have anything of our own, but we are just there as a flower, then one can bloom anywhere. A lotus blooms in the mud. So it's not scared of the mud, that mud will ruin me. It blooms in the mud. So before we become a lotus, I think we have to take a lot of here and there little precautions that we may know from within. And what Till was just sharing, that even the fall are there for a reason, and also the divine is always there to pull us up again and again. And I believe that each fall that happens back to the ordinary consciousness tells me, what am I clinging to right now? Because something was there which was ready to fall in my being. What was that something? So I become more conscious of that inner movement now. So thanks to the outer situation that came, so that I fell, because through falling, I knew that there was something ready still. The purification is not yet over. There was yet something ready to fall. What was that part? So to become conscious of that, to unify our being. So, it's really beautiful on this path that everything, even our failure or a mistake or an error, everything becomes a raw material on the path. There is nothing that goes waste. Maybe a part of me wanted to please somebody, and that's why I could not say no. So to be conscious of that part, okay, what was the part which one wanted to please, and what did I get by pleasing? So it's amazing. I believe it's beautiful to get to know more of our little parts here and there, which are hidden mostly from our consciousness. That's the beauty. So yes, would agree that even the fall into ordinary consciousness, although vigilance, as Chitraji was sharing, is the key as long as we are alive. Vigilance is the key. And yet, even if we fall, because we will fall, it's not that we can be vigilant 100% of the time. We will fall. We grow only in degrees. So even the fall is made use of, because in retrospect, I can reflect over the fall and realize what needs to be realized. Yeah, so that's really beautiful. And it also helps us to slowly sort out all the people and situations from our life which are not really contributing, in our growth. Because many a times we are attaching to those happenings and situations which are not giving us much, but just for the sake of the society or the name or fame or being somebody, we stick to those people or situations. So it also helps in the sorting process to make our life a little simpler, and not that complicated and entangled. Yeah. So this paragraph is actually it's a very, very relevant, and thank you, Chitraji, for bringing this up, because it's the paragraph which we live. We fall into ordinary consciousness. We are not mostly in the supreme most consciousness. So it's our journey, and to give importance and validate that journey, that yes, okay, I do fall, and what can I how can I grow through the fall? So that can be my attitude, that let me grow through each fall. As in Savitri Sri Aurobindo shares that our errors are his steps on the way. So no error is going waste. I'm making use of each error. And in other prayers and meditations, Mother also shares that many a times I do an act which is not in consecration, done in full consecration. So then I blame myself, I deplore myself. For a moment, I am sad, but then I plunge into thee and find solace there. And, and in the other one, she shares that innumerable experiences are required before a full realization happens. So yes, I think we have to honor the process also.
Yeah, and also they feel the oneness in everyone. Yes, this I have doubt for a long time. And in one of the Alukda's talk I watched, actually, he's told very clearly, yes, you can feel the oneness in everyone, divine essences in everyone. But for that sake, you need not move with each and every person.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And I feel that the third line here, the smallest acts have a great importance and should be seriously considered. So seriously considered, how I look at it is that what was the inner movement happening in me when the outer situation was going on? That is what I have to seriously consider.
Yes, Monica. That line struck me too, because one only nobody can tell it actually. Only you will know. I mean, what is seriously considering? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That is great importance. Yeah. One
yes,
only knows.
yeah,
Very important.
yeah, yes.
Smallest acts are a great importance and should be seriously considered. Yes.
Yeah,
How mother is bringing out very beautifully, she
yes,
only knows the difficulties of human beings in the path.
exactly. Yeah.
Uh,
I think each line, Mother and Sri Aurobindo's, as if they have dissected the whole human consciousness,
yeah,
each
true,
line
true.
is, exactly how we feel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. So this here, this one, we must try every moment to do that which will make the identification of our consciousness with the eternal consciousness easy, and avoid carefully all that becomes an obstacle to this identification. So this is what I was referring to, that in the beginning, when I am a sapling, I am growing, I have to protect myself with a fence. So if I know that interacting with a person makes me fall into the state of too much discursive thinking and my mind scatters out, I'm not gathered within, then I have to avoid the person or the situations for some time. I think this is an act of kindness towards oneself, to avoid scattering of consciousness before I become ready, so that I can go out, interact with anyone, but the ingathered state is not going off. And even when I am going off, out in the vast and open, and mostly maintaining the ingathered state, there will be instances, challenging instances, where the ingathered state will scatter again, and that fall again will tell me what needs to be corrected in my own consciousness. So everything is a mirror. I think that really gives us a lot of empowerment, that everything that is happening in the external situation is nothing but a mirror for me, telling me what is the work to be done next. So as if we are daily getting the daily labor, the daily employment we are getting, that, okay, this is the work now, this is the work now, this is the work. And we keep on using that. Yeah. And we also see that whenever we lose ourselves in the thoughts and feelings, become too identified with our thoughts and feelings, we lose the union with eternal consciousness. This one here, we lose the thread. So also for us to realize that to identify very, very strongly with our thoughts and feelings is not the way to unify ourselves with the eternal consciousness. So to notice that, yes, I have an opinion about this situation, I have a judgment, I have a liking about this situation, but to hold it again very, very lightly, not to take our opinions too seriously. So that really helps maintaining the ingathered state, not losing ourselves in the thought stream too strongly. As I was sharing in the beginning, that Buddha shared, attachment is suffering. So the moment I cling to my opinion, the moment I attach too much importance to my story, my feeling, then I lose the identification with the consciousness, true consciousness. So I have to be very conscious, vigilant of that in what moment do I become too obsessive about my thoughts. So those are my areas of inner work. Yeah.
Like you said, na Monica, about the sapling. So suddenly I was wondering कि sapling कब तक, मतलब I feel 10, 12, 15 साल sapling ही है. And then what came to me was that नहीं, there has been growth. Yet you are sensitive, but like earlier, like I've shared earlier also, that like few years ago, if that would like something would trouble you and disturb you for days together. Now you're able to come out of it in a day or maybe in just few hours.
Yes.
So yes, the sapling is growing. I just had that reflection. Yeah.
Beautiful. Yes.
Sensitive, yet there is a growth. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we are parallelly so many human beings within us So some of them have gone stronger, and there are a few areas which need still to be protected. And it may take lifetimes, who knows. But the beauty that you are sharing just right now, for example, a little progress if we are able to make, I think that is enough. So no matter if it may take lifetimes, who bothers if we have the delight of walking on this path? Yeah. So with peace in my heart, with light in my mind, the hope born of certitude in all my being, I greet thee, O Lord, divine master of eternal love. Thou art the reason of our existence and our goal. So this is again Mother's prayers, something very, very unique about her prayers, that she never forgets. She reminds for us. She's reminding again and again where to find solace. Not to find solace in a person, in a situation, in a thought, in an opinion, in a judgment, but to find solace in the true consciousness that we are. I think there, if this daily immersion in holy dip in Ganges can be there, I think something stability, it gives us a stability on this path. Whatever little stability we can gather through whatever little practice we may have, that some kind of discipline, some little, even if it's 5 minutes a day, dipping in the Ganges, holy dip, sacred dip, going into touching the depths of our being and finding solace there. I think that really changes the quality of mind, which then rises up through that dip. So every day to dip ourselves through whatever means are possible for us, to touch that peace in the inner heart, to touch that light in that mind, which is simple, which is uncomplicated mind, which is not expecting, demanding from people and situations, but which is ready to give. That mind which is ready to receive the intuitive knowledge, and that heart which is always ready to offer itself. There, the certitude arises that yes, all shall be well. Every being will be taken care of, including myself. There, it gives birth to certitude. Yeah. And then yeah.
Sorry. No, what I wanted to share was, you're again, like you said, offering yourself at every moment, and yet not offering, I feel like giving into expectations of others is not offering yourself. There's a difference, right?
Yes,
so,
yes.
Yeah. So that thing.
Yeah. Yes. I think flowers are beautiful examples of offering, that they're just blooming, full of fragrance, and you can trample over them. Although human beings are different from flowers, but they don't mind it. They don't mind it. And I feel that the more we become detached in our being, the more we become slowly, expectation less, desire less. I think it's a long process, but let us go a little further. I think the more we realize that we want to offer ourselves, not to the expectations and demands, because that would not happen then, because the life folds in a manner that you will be offering yourself at the right place at the right time. Because there is also, along with compassion, there is also a wisdom in us. Compassion comes with intelligence. So I would not be feeding expectations or demands of a wrong kind if I am on the right path. So the moment we touch our inner heart, the moment we touch something beautiful inside her, which is true, along with compassion, there is also intelligence. So it's not a blind compassion. There is a knowing, there is a very, very sharp, intelligent knowing where I have to offer myself and in what way. So I think those doubts and confusions also slowly wither away. and you know that, okay, at this point of moment, this is what my task is, and this is how I want to offer myself, or, so one has a knowing, innate knowing. And that's how I believe through the knowing one works. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, so true.
Yeah. And this divine master of eternal love, love, Mother has shared, Sri Aurobindo shares, love is the only transformative power. Without having love in our heart, without having compassion in our heart, we cannot think of transforming either my own inner movements or somebody else around me. So there needs to be a lot of, I think, self-growth, inner growth, and slowly it flowers and blossoms. The flower of love blossoms, the wisdom of inner heart opens. And I think there, through this knowing, we work, there, as Mother shares, that reason is the helper and reason is the bar. Then one does not calculate that, okay, I have done enough and this is how much I want to offer myself, and that would be too much. So there is no calculation in love. And we all have known people full of love and understanding in our life, who are just, their presence itself is so soothing, like a balm. We all have known such people in our lives, either our grandparents or parents, or a few siblings here and there, friends. So I think those people are also inspirations in our lives, that this can happen for each one of us also, that we grow so desireless slowly, having nothing, no expectation of our own, because we are already fulfilled by the inner well, the inner source of happiness, that we just have to offer. We just have to be there, not really do a particular action, even many a times. Just your presence is enough. You're making the difference. So, but again, having said that, it again is a process, it's a journey, and we must validate and respect our journeys too, and other people's journeys too. Yeah. Yeah, anything anyone wants to add on?
You sent another prayer also, Monica, no? Along with that.
Actually, this, yeah.
Yeah. Something, that's also beautiful. Something about class.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. That is also very beautiful, actually.
Yeah. So that's by a Christian Catholic saint,
Yeah.
Saint Teresa of Lisieux. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her words are also beautiful. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
Yeah. Great. Then thank you, everyone. Thank you for coming, joining, sharing, reflecting, and listening together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's beautiful
Thank you.
prayer. Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Till. Yeah.